Doctors check your blood pressure, they check your cholesterol. They run these super complex tests that cost hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars. But, what if I told you there's an incredibly accurate, hidden superpower of a metric that we just ignore every single day? Welcome to The Explainer. I'm Andrew, and today on Simus, we're going deep into something you do all the time without a second thought. Think about it. While the medical world relies on expensive scans and invasive blood draws to figure out how healthy you are, they often miss a completely free, zero-cost predictor of how long you're actually going to live. It literally takes 10 seconds to measure. It's not a blood test, it's not an MRI. It's your gait speed. Simply put, how fast you walk. And by the end of this explainer, I promise you're going to fundamentally change how you view a simple stroll around the block. You're going to see that walking isn't just a way to get from point A to point B, man. It's a vital diagnostic tool and honestly, a biological masterpiece.
Okay, let's dive into Section 1, the perfect spring machine and the hidden engineering of your feet.
Because most people think feet are just, feet. But think about these numbers. Your foot is constructed of 26 bones, 33 joints, and over 100 muscles and tendons. That's not just a foot, it's an absolute masterpiece of natural design that top robotics experts around the world literally still cannot fully replicate. Every single time your heel strikes the ground, your arch compresses. It acts exactly like a loaded spring, storing kinetic energy, and then boom, releasing it to shoot you forward with almost zero effort. Your body flawlessly executes this thousands of times a day. And this brilliantly illustrates the actual physics of walking. Get a little nerdy with me here. Biomechanists call human walking an inverted pendulum. Imagine a pendulum swinging left-right, left-right. Energy is constantly being exchanged between movement and gravity. When you take a step, you're essentially falling forward, and your other leg is just catching you, again and again. You aren't fighting gravity, you're borrowing it. It's peak biological efficiency.
Moving on to Section 2, built for endless endurance, also known as the evolutionary long game. Here's something that blew my mind. Compared to a lion or a horse, humans are incredibly slow. A lion would catch us in seconds. But evolution didn't build us for speed. It built our bodies to be the ultimate masters of the long game. Our ancestors used a strategy called persistence hunting. They didn't sprint after prey, they just relentlessly followed it. And here's the biological advantage. Most animals can't sweat. They literally have to stop and pant to cool down. Humans, though, we sweat and we breathe while continuously moving. We could literally track an animal in the blistering heat for hours until it just collapsed from heat exhaustion. Let that mind-blowing contrast land for a second. We are the direct descendants of the most relentless long-distance walkers on the planet. Your entire physiology was designed for sustained, endless movement. And yet, what do we do today? We trap ourselves at desks, sitting for 10 hours a day. We're totally ignoring our deepest evolutionary programming.
Now, what's really interesting is Section 3, pumping fluids and building bones, or the hidden mechanics inside you.
You know the old saying, use it or lose it, right? Well, with your skeleton, that is literal biology. It's called Wolff's law, which dictates that bone grows and becomes denser wherever mechanical stress is applied. But it gets crazier. Your bones are actually piezoelectric. That means when you compress them by walking, they generate a tiny electrical charge. And that charge acts as a direct command to your bone cells, telling them, hey, build more density right here. Every single step is literally a bone-strengthening signal.
And then there are your fluids. Your heart pumps your blood, obviously. But here is a massive jaw-drop moment. Your lymphatic system, the system responsible for draining waste and fighting infections, has absolutely no pump. None. Unlike your circulatory system, it relies entirely on your muscle movement to push fluid through your body. So the crucial point here is this muscle pump mechanism. Step down, your leg muscles contract, and they squeeze the tiny valves in your veins to push blood and lymph fluids upward against gravity. When you sit all day, this pump completely stops. Blood pools in your legs, waste stagnates in your tissues, and your fluid systems literally just stall. You have to walk to power the pump.
All right, let's get into Section 4, Walking Grows Your Brain, which I call the hippocampus revelation. This is perhaps the most mind-bending science of this entire explainer. For decades, we believed this scientific myth that once brain cells died off, that was it, game over. But that's actually entirely wrong. We now know about neurogenesis, the literal birth of new neurons in brain tissue. And it turns out, aerobic walking is actually one of the most powerful triggers known to science for building brand new neurons in your brain. How cool is that?
Take a landmark study from 2011. Researchers tracked adults over a year. The ones who walked regularly saw a 2% physical increase in the volume of their hippocampus. That's the brain's center for memory and learning. They completely reversed years of age-related brain shrinkage. Meanwhile, the non-exercisers, they saw their hippocampus shrink by 1%. So when someone says a walk clears their head, it's not just a feeling, it is physical brain growth.
Which brings us to Section 5, the 20-minute miracle and its real-time payoff.
So what's the real-time payoff of all this science? In just 20 minutes, the compounding benefits are honestly staggering. Your lymph fluids start moving and draining waste. Your joints get lubricated and absorb nutrients. Your brain starts releasing BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which scientists literally call miracle grow for the brain. Your stress hormone, cortisol, drops, while your feel-good chemicals, serotonin and dopamine rise. Doing this simple stroll just 3 times a week is the lowest barrier, highest reward action your body knows.
Which brings us right back to that initial gait speed test we talked about. Walking is a continuous, real-time balance challenge that your brain is constantly solving. The brain regions responsible for balance are the exact same ones benefiting from the movement. You walk more, you build better balance, which builds a better brain, which ultimately leads to a longer, healthier life. It's the ultimate biological report card.
You know, we spend so much time and money searching for the next big biohack or fancy supplement. But the truth is, the ultimate biohack is a 4 million-year-old technology built into every single bone, muscle, and neuron in your body. You were not built to sit at a desk. You were built to move.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. If every single step you take speaks the exact language your body was designed to hear, building your bones, pumping your fluids, and growing your brain, what's your excuse for staying seated today? Get up, get moving, and hey, share this explainer with someone in your life who really needs to hear it. I'm Andrew, and I'll see you next time.